All right, welcome back. We are doing 3-1 in this video, and today is all about reflecting over the X and Y axis. For your foldable, I believe yours is yellow this year, might be a different color different year. Just fold in a half forward so that it looks like this. If you want, you can take your scissors and cut on that dashed line so that one flap lifts at a time. Okay, so let's get started. So our example 1 says the figure shows a triangle ABC. Graph the image of the triangle after a reflection across the x-axis. So remember, x-axis is the horizontal, so this is your x-axis. And what you want to visualize is if I folded this graph in half, so on your piece of paper, if you were to fold right along that line, and this were to be wet paint, where would it mark on the other paper because it was wet paint? Well, it would be somewhere down here, but we're actually going to graph that more precise. Okay, so reflection across the x-axis means that it's the same distance away. So this point was 1, 2, 3 up, so it went 1, 2, 3 down. This point was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away, so I'm going to do 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then C looks to be 3 away as well. So now I have the new triangle formed from a reflection. Some notation here, the new triangle we label with the same points, but we put a little apostrophe there to say B prime, A prime, C prime, to let us know that that one's actually a reflection of the original. So it's not the original, but it's kind of like it. Okay. On your paper sometimes you may see when they're asking for a reflection about the x-axis, it may just look like this, reflection x-axis. Okay. All right, to save you time, I'm actually going to leave examples 2 and 3 for you to come explore in the OneNote notebook to see if you get those right. So pause the video, try them on your own, go look at OneNote to see if you got those right. But we will do example 4 together. Okay, so notice that there are 4 points this time, and also that we are reflecting across the y-axis this time. All right, so if I look, M is at 1, negative 1. N is at 4, negative 1. P is at 6, negative 4. And Q is at 2, negative 6. Okay. Just like before, I can visualize if it reflects across this line, it's going to be the same distance the other way. So there would be my M prime. N would go over here. All right, P would go over here, P prime, and Q would go right here. Does that look like a reflected image? Hopefully your answer is yes. Now let's look at those points. So M is now at negative 1, negative 1. N is now at negative 4, negative 1. P is now at negative 6, negative 4. And Q is now at negative 2, negative 6. So if I actually look at how that compares to this, Notice that all it does is make the x values negative. Okay, so so the original was just x comma y, and my new one is negative x comma y. Well, we didn't do this for x-axis, so let's look back at the x-axis really quick before we wrap up this video. All right, so on this one, A was at 1, 3. B was at 5, 6. And C is at 6, 3. Uh-oh. A prime, sorry, my dog jumped down, is at 1, negative 3. B prime is at 5, negative 6. And C prime is at 6, negative 3. So notice this time, even though we reflected across the x-axis, it was our y's that changed. So our normal point, it was the y value that changed. Okay, so try some practice on your own. I highly encourage you to do the practice before you go straight to the mastery target.